News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
And now the planes are back on the train. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Wednesday, July the 9th. 2014. Little haze out there this morning, but another beautiful morning in western Montana, dawning bright and clear. Just a little haze, especially out by the northern mountains. We have 58 degrees in Missoula. And our newscast this morning is sponsored by Diggett Excavating, bringing 30 years of excellence to your job. Call 214-4292. Crews have removed all three commercial airplane fuselages from a river embankment in western Montana, the Clark Fork specifically, after they tumbled off a train in a derailment. Montana Rail Link spokeswoman Linda Frost said the last of the newly manufactured Boeing 737 fuselages was hoisted up yesterday. A fuselage, of course, is the main body of the aircraft. 19 cars derailed Thursday, as we reported, spilling 3 fuselages into the Clark Fork River near Alberton and 3 more near the tracks. Frost says the fuselages and their flatbed cars weigh a combined 70 tons each. Railway officials are investigating the cause of that derailment. An alleged hit-and-run Monday at Missoula as authorities looking for more information. Here's Travis Welsh with the police department.
About 9 a.m., there was a collision at the intersection of North Reserve Street and Union Pacific. The collision involved a black Chevrolet pickup and a man on a bicycle. Apparently the driver of the pickup helped the bicyclist up, get into his vehicle, loaded the bicycle in the back of the truck, and then drove him across town.
Welsh says the truck dropped the bicyclist off at the Eastgate Shopping Center, where the man walked around for several hours, badly hurt, before arriving at the hospital by a private vehicle.
Call was placed to 911 and Missoula police officers responded. The male victim appears to have pretty significant injuries. As of this morning, he was still in the hospital. The driver of the pickup is described as a white male with short brown hair. He is said to be about 5 feet 10 inches tall and 180 pounds, and he was thought to be in his 40s.
Welsh says it appears the driver's first name could be Mike. Reporting information about this hit and run, contact Sergeant Greg Amundson. His number is 552-6333. U.S. Marshals Service is searching for a convicted felon suspected of fleeing Missoula in a stolen vehicle after being fired as a manager of a senior citizen's apartment complex. U.S. Justice Department said yesterday that 59-year-old Richard Liggett is wanted for a parole violation, auto theft, and failing to register as a violent offender. Liggett worked as a live-in manager at Silvercrest Apartments in Missoula for 2 days before his parole officer notified managers that he was required to register as a violent offender. A resident of Silvercrest told the Missoulian that Liggett asked to borrow a woman's car after he was fired last Wednesday and has not yet returned it. Officials with Silvercrest say the company that does its background checks failed to notify it about Liggett's criminal background. For Missoula County residents, open burning season officially ended yesterday, according to Missoula County Fire Protection Association spokesman Matt Hall.
Yeah, it's really just a closure of open burning in Missoula County. So any brush clearing or any debris burning that you would have around your property is closed at this time, but 2x2 campfires are still permitted.
The county fire danger level increased to moderate last week, which was a major consideration in the ban on open burning. Rescue crews responded to a reported near drowning at Splash, Montana in Missoula Monday. City Aquatic Supervisor Eric Seagrave says a lifeguard was able to pull the young girl out of the pool and resuscitate her. Seagrave says all the lifeguards are fully trained in life-saving techniques.
To even get an interview for the lifeguard position, they have to have passed and completed a lifeguard training course, which is a 30 to 35-hour training, which include rescue skills, in-water rescue skills, and CPR, first aid.
Seagrave says now that he and his staff have had a chance to reflect on the rescue effort.
I'm really happy to say that in reviewing the reports and who did what at what time and when and where, that it seems like everything went almost as perfectly as possible according to how those scenarios that we have set up have done in the past.
In June of 2013, a 2-year-old fell into a pool at Splash and was found unresponsive, not breathing. She was revived and later fully recovered. The men and women who operate the nation's Minuteman III nuclear force are known as Missileers. From a command post 60 feet below ground, they await the order they hope never arrives to launch the world's most powerful weapon. These airmen do their duty not in the air, but in a hole in the ground on both counts, the possibility of firing the weapons that could kill millions and the subterranean confinement. A Missileer lives with pressures few others know. It's not active combat, although the Air Force calls them combat crew members. Some may find it surprising that the U.S. still operates nuclear missiles, and therein lies part of the problem for missileers who feel underappreciated in a military that long ago shifted focus to fighting small wars. Tomorrow, immigrants from countries as diverse as Russia, Sweden, the People's Republic of China, and the United Kingdom will all gather in Missoula to become U.S. citizens. Citizenship and Immigration Services spokesman Tim Counts has details.
We've got a naturalization ceremony at which 30 immigrants who originally came from 13 different countries will be sworn in as new U.S. citizens. We do this once or twice a year in Missoula, and it's a nice event. It's actually open to the public, and if anybody is interested in attending, it's kind of entertaining and a fairly short ceremony.
The ceremony will begin at 11 a.m. at the Russell Smith Courthouse in Missoula. And he says more and more immigrants are being naturalized in Montana and other intermountain western states.
Usually in a typical year in Montana, it's about 300 people. Many people don't think of states like Montana as being a place where immigrants go, but things have really changed over the last 20 years, and immigrants really are spreading throughout the country and making their homes everywhere.
Last year, 325 immigrants became nationalized U.S. citizens in Montana. Northwestern Energy Vice President John Hines is urging the Public Service Commission to approve his company's $900 million purchase of 11 hydroelectric dams in Montana. Hines is the first of 18 people scheduled to testify on the PSC hearing on whether the deal is in the public interest. He said yesterday that Northwestern has a great need for energy, and buying the dams would provide stable electricity bills for consumers in the future. Senator Jon Tester's bill to strengthen hunting and fishing rights and to improve conservation efforts nationwide finally got to the Senate floor this week. Tester's Bipartisan Sportsman Act includes 12 provisions to increase public land access for hunters and anglers, protect treasured places to hunt, fish, and recreate, and, he says, strengthen states' roles in protecting wildlife.
Accessing these lands is our birthright, and this bill delivers on a century-old promise to preserve our outdoor heritage. By passing this bipartisan legislation, we will help ensure future generations get to experience the natural wonders that were passed down to us.
The bill is also said to strengthen outdoor recreation opportunities, which generates $6 billion and supports more than 60,000 jobs per year in Montana. Our News Talk time now is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly sunny skies today with an isolated thunder threat this afternoon. Temperatures will top out in the low 90s. Winds will turn breezy out of the west-northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Lows tonight in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.
Thank you, Brooke. Right now, it's a lovely morning in western Montana. Got just a little bit of haze in the valley right now. 58 degrees in Missoula.